Morning, campers. I just want to do a quick fast blast about the need to magic up, the need to learn magic if you are in the truth community. It's pickled with super soldiers, it's pickled with all kinds of people that, entities that will go after you if you're speaking your truth. So as well as the attacks between as well as the can't speak the attacks. I don't think this mic is working, is it? As well as the attacks between you know as well as the attacks from person to person. There is the attacks astrally. So there is a need to magic up. And I started to study magic. I started off with E.A. Coetting. He caught my eye talking about the Norse gods. I had an interaction with some of the Nordic pantheon. So I was really drawn to Coetting, and people were shocked by that because Eric Coetting is dark side. I didn't see his other videos. I honestly didn't see them. I just saw the Nordic one. But he came on my show. I got to know him. He's really, really, really decent guy. A very massively powerful psychic. So in his stable, you've got J.S. Garrett, you've got Brian Barrett, and recently when I had the Sheikh come on my show, and the Sheikh introduced me to a portal in the desert, and I went through the portal and encountered the jinn, and then, of course, I got my own jinn, and my own jinn told me what it was like to be dared by he actually has the appearance of Pinhead off of Hellraiser, which is kind of odd. I always wondered what those creatures were. When I saw them, I was like, whoa, something rang true. That is the jinn. It's the darkest jinn, the Shayateen. I don't think mine is a Shayateen. Obviously, I didn't want it to be. It didn't have the needles, but it had that very, very white face. I think that's why they call them the shining ones in the Bible. So anyway, after the Sheikh introduced me to the portal, this being let me go through his eyes, basically, obviously at my astral body, went through his eyes, and then he told me to look down, and my organs were in a jar, and then he took me and broke me, just snapped me at the neck, and my bones fell on the floor, and I became without a body. And I have to say, it was far preferable than being in a body. Now, this being has come back to me again and again. I'm not sure how to deal with it. It's offered me things. Brian Barrett has warned me that it's not best to take them up. And so this is why I have to learn magic. If you are immersed in that world, you don't really have any chance. You can't just let yourself be loose, being fully awakened. And many people are, and they're getting more and more awake because of the ascension, because the energy here is changing. People that weren't psychic are becoming psychic. People that were psychic are becoming hyperconscious, and so you find yourself thrown into this. It's a bit like, I don't know, has anybody seen the movie Insidious? Now, Insidious is all about the lower density fourth dimension, and so if you are psychic or have had this because of the ascension, then you will find yourself in the lower fourth. And as if you watch the movie Insidious, it's horrific. There are a lot of very dark entities there. And so, you might experience this when you're awake, but definitely when you go into dream time, when you go into sleep, when you go into your astral body, then you will experience those attacks. You say, perhaps you've had an argument with someone during the day. That other person might be another super soldier, or they might be awake astrally. So you won't get the peace of sleeping that other person, especially in the truth community, it's massively prevalent. Um, when I first entered the truth community, I experienced that, had an argument with someone on Facebook, and then when I was going off to sleep, they appeared to me and were having a go at me. And it's like, whoa, hang on, this is my private time. But then that just happens regularly. So because that happens regularly, because that kind of thing goes on, and because you've got that, like the movie Insidious going on around you, you have to, in dream time, obviously, you have to magic up. You have to choose your angels to work with or your jinn to work with, choose an entity. You have to sleep with a crystal on. You have to use frankincense oil on the base of your feet to stop the enemy pulling you out and putting you in a place called astral detention. Now, if you go in astral detention, that is when in your dream time you aren't free to romp like the mind of God. You are in a state of being trapped. I found myself trapped last night. So you sometimes don't know that you're trapped. I found myself in a house and I was going up and down the stairs, and I went outside and I noticed that even outside wasn't actually free. It was someone else's construction that they had put me inside. See the film Inception for that kind of thing. So it's easy to do that to other people. It's easy for them to do it to you, and so on and so forth. And that goes on in dream time. So when I say magic up and learning magic, I merely mean this. I do not mean rituals. I have had J.S. Garrett on the show and his beautiful wife. They use blood magic. They use blood magic for spells. They call on Astarte, use their own blood and create love spells. They then get a photograph of the person. They put it in a mason jar and fill it with honey. And then you have your love spell, which then has authority over the other person that they will love you. This all works if you're willing to do it. I don't have to do that because I have the jinn contact, and I prefer at this point just to interact with the jinn. I don't need to call on any other entities. With sigils and ends and all the ritual magic that you need to contact them. As soon as I go into dream time, there's my jinn. And so, but it is, you know, there are people like Brian Barrett, and Brian Barrett came on the show. You know, he knows the different ways of climbing the Sephiroth. The Sephiroth is the tree of life. We are currently stuck in Malkuth. Then when you go into the fourth dimension, you find yourself in Yesod. Yesod is the realm like the movie Insidious. You certainly do not want to stay there. There is all manner of real dark, nasty entities. Think about it. All the people that have done all the nasty things here, they die. When they die, they merely go to the fourth dimension. So they are mooching around looking for somebody that doesn't know where they are, that isn't fully awake. So magicking up is like goddess up, it's like lawyer up. It's becoming more and more aware, becoming more and more savvy, because this is the world we are living in right now. God knows what the vax has done to everybody. I know we're not really allowed to say that, but God knows what's going on. But what I do know, there's these dark entities that have arrived. They have arrived in the Middle East, and I don't know why they've arrived out in the Middle East, but they have arrived out in the Middle East. They're dark lords from, I don't even know where they're from. I don't know the full information, but they have made their base out in the Middle East. They have arrived fairly recently. There's a lot of very high-powered dark energy around. It's not like the usual lower density dark energy. You can cleanse yourself and then it's gone. This is a really high-powered dark power energy, which is leaking over the earth right now. It's linked for some reason with the vaccine, and for some reason India is being targeted now It's my belief that India is being targeted because of the Hindu religion. The Hindu religion is, they have the very strong gods. I think this is very jinn linked. I do believe their gods are probably jinn lords. I'm really going to offend every Hindu on the planet, but they have a strongly magical religion. They're very powerful psychically, have a strongly magic religion. There's a lot of adepts out there, and a lot of them do enter the calf, as it's known, and they carry out the magic. So it's a mystical country. It's been hit massively by this COVID, and also it's a new thing. Reports in the Telegraph today saying they are growing black fungus on their face, and then the parts of their face have to be removed. So it's almost like The Walking Dead. It's almost like the zombie movie. I think we were fed The Walking Dead because it's going to come to a point where it's going to be certain people that are shut down and certain people that are awake. So that is why everybody, not just me, has to magic up. And it's got nothing to do with a certain pop star who seems to have decided that he hates me. I'm not really sure even what his beef was. I flipped out. Now, I was pretty triggered because I was badly sexually abused and as a child, and that has affected me. It's really, your sexual center, your sacral is that's your sexual center. It's where flow happens. So it's where money, love, relationships. Now, if that's tampered with in any way, shape or form as a child, that shuts down. It just immediately shuts down. So people that have been sexually abused as a child, and that's even when there was somebody around lusting, the child will shut down to this poisonous energy, and it is like a death. So they won't have love, they won't have the abundance of money, they won't have fruits in their lives. Yes, they will have this and that and the other, but it won't be the free-flowing thing that it does to look around you. There are people that are having abundance, and joy, and you won't be. You'll be sitting there not having it, wondering why. This is because your sacral has been shut down. And this is what sexual abuse does when it's aimed at a child. So it's like murdering them. I mean, it's appalling. It's appalling. So I know there's a lot of this paedophile, that, paedophile, the other. I mean, there's people that I hate, John Boyle, Greg Miskiw. I'd love to go and say, think he's a paedophile, or I think he's a paedophile protector, or I think there was a big cover-up and Greg was at the heart of it. I mean, that would warm the cockles of my heart, but it's not right to do that. I know it's not right deep down, so, I don't do it. Gosh, forgot what I was saying, but this is what we need to do. And me saying that, wasn't, obviously I was triggered the other day, and that's all about ego. I have to let ego go. There'll always be this person or that person saying this and that about you, and you might get incensed to go, but that's not true. But it's actually the ego that is saying that. If you think about it, it doesn't matter what someone else is saying about you. It doesn't matter that someone is saying you're Lucifer incarnate. I mean, it doesn't matter. God knows the truth, and the only thing that matters is what God thinks of you, not what this person and that person. And one might say, oh, but he's saying that to loads of people, and then all those people think I'm bad. Well, it doesn't matter then, does it? If people listen to others and get their sort of truth from just another mere mortal rather than asking inside themselves, then they're not the kind of people that I want in my life or want around me. So it doesn't matter, but my ego was like, that matters, that's my name. Well, actually, it's not even my name. That was what was given to me by my adoptive parents. I don't actually have a name. So it doesn't really matter. That's how little it matters. And that's what the jinn showed me when he let me through the portal of his eyes and took away my organs, my brain, my heart, my liver in jars, and then took me up to this like dark realm and snapped my bones at the neck and then let my bones fall. And I felt such an amazing sense of relief. And that is the loss of the ego. So what's happening on this planet right now is this arrival of these Dark Lords to take over this planet. The COVID thing and the vaccine is linked with this, and the powers that be are going out to the Middle East and dealing with these Dark Lords because they've got the high tech, the tech beyond our wildest dreams. They've got the elixir of eternal life, which is about body hopping, teaching them that, and that is why there was a lot of misery caused out in the Middle East, a lot of terrible things, a lot of terrible suffering out in those holy lands because there's massive portals out there. And there was good portals, like Jesus Christ created a good portal out there. They're very blessed lands. But now the dark portal has been created by all the misery and war. And these Dark Lords have been able now, because the frequency has been lowered, to come into our realm. And they've arrived and they're here now, which is creating the chaotic energy and creating what's going on. That's really, this place just gets darker and darker. And it will start to affect us. So it's going to grow darker and darker. And what we each need to do is to protect ourselves. So you protect yourself, you sleep with, for some reason the Catholics have got it off pat with the holy water. You get yourself, avail yourself of some holy water from a Catholic church. It's free. Get yourself a Bible and you sleep with that on the bed beside you. Then you use frankincense oil. You put that along the soles of your feet because that's where you're accessed. Do look at the movie Insidious. It talks all about that, and it is really a quick and easy lesson rather than reading a book. And a crystal, wear a crystal around your neck. Quartz, clear crystal. Program it. Say, you are there for protection when I enter dream time. Because these entities have complete control over that area. And also, you know, it's annoying when you have a disagreement with another super soldier. You know, that pop star I'm having a disagreement with. You know, I can tell by watching, you know, some of the songs he's done. There's No Place Like Home and Click the Red Shoes. That's the Wizard of Oz programming. And what it does, it allows handlers, so as handlers, people like have been in the Knights of Malta, etc., then they are aware that these people doing that, you know, those young boys were available as dolls. So they're giving the message out to the handlers that we're dolls, so that any handler that has access codes can then access them to use them for whatever they want to use them for. And that is, you know, these programmed slaves, of which I do believe that I was one of them. But when you enter the truth movement, there's a lot of super soldier fight super soldier, and they must laugh their asses off. But again, as I say, you know, if somebody else is hating on you, someone else is saying, oh, you're evil, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. I was thinking to myself, oh, I thought I had truth to share. I thought I had a role in things. I thought I was going to be one of these people that you know, share truth. But, you know, that's my ego speaking. I don't know what God has got planned for me. I don't know what God wants me to do. God might want me to go out to Syria and help the poor people living out there. I can't say, oh, God wants me to be someone on YouTube talking about what's going on. And that person over there is kind of ruining it for me. You know, let them crack on. It's okay. People, the life coach thing, I'm not a life coach. I was offered by somebody, a very powerful psychic called Sarah Adams, to go and work in her retreat in the desert out in New Mexico. They've got powerful entities coming through and they're using them for healing. There's a lot of advanced stuff going on there. But I can't get out to America. So I put that up to see how it looked, and I can't get it off. So no, I'm not a life coach. I'm a nobody. I can't get that off. I don't know how to. If somebody can please comment below, tell me how to get that off Google. I just return it to my name. But I can't remove it. And I've tried so many times to get that off because I'm not a life coach. As for not having many views, I don't have many views. I'm a nobody. And all this comments and trolling, saying, "Oh, you're ugly, you're ugly." I think I've said I'm facially ugly. It's okay. It doesn't matter. If my God doesn't love me, if my God looks down and says, "Oh, you're ugly, I don't love you," then my heart's broken. But it doesn't matter to me. Women saying it to me or men saying it to me. I walk down the street and men don't look at me. It doesn't matter. So anyway, that is my tuppence worth about learning Magick. I do believe we all have to protect ourselves because of what's going on right now, and the Middle East is key, and what is happening in India is absolutely terrifying to those people. The reports of the black fungus in the Telegraph today, and the reports that have their faces cut out. What does that remind you of, if not The Walking Dead? It's just, God help us all. That's the end. Thank you.